I mean, if you look at the journey of the material world that most people are making, they're kind of missing the whole point of life. Kind of like really trying to win the game of life that is a false destination, where you achieve, it's about achievement and success from a material perspective, but the true journey of life is this journey to a destination of beingness, coming home to yourself, your true self.
And that's what I think of as our purpose.
Yes, absolutely.
But we have this, and this is where I was talking about conditioning earlier, we have this sense that purpose needs to be something big.
Yeah, no.
I have to, like you said, success on the level of what the world defines as success.
Yeah, in competition with others. Yeah.
Not necessarily my definition of what would feel like true success for me.
Yes.
What would make me happy? What would make me feel safe, feel loved, feel in good balance, feel well, feel full of joy.
Yeah.
So when people ask me about my sense of purpose or what do I believe a sense of purpose is, for me, it's to become more me, for you to become more you, for every single person to feel that they have the space, the time, the permission to explore what it means for them to be them.
Yeah, but I would suggest to be me without the me. So me not being the identity, not being the body, not being the mind, but the true me, the inner self, which I know you had two terms for the self. What were they in the book?
There was the absolute self and the relative self. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
And this is from a course that I did right back when I started my journey.
Yes.
And it's based on a book by Andrew Cohen, The Evolutionary Enlightenment.
Yeah.
And within that course, we took a different stance. So we would stand in the relative self, we would stand in the absolute self. So when I was saying about perception and perspective, where are you looking from? And these are aspects, they're true aspects of ourselves. But we can look at the world as its relativity, and we live in a world of relativity. So we have day and night, we have the different seasons, we have light, we have dark, all of these things. It's a relative world, and we have a sense of time, chronology, versus the absolute, which just is. It's outside of time and space. And in our absolute self, we just are.
Yeah.
We're not an age. We're not broken.
Yeah.
We just are.
Actually, who we are is beyond labels. So all the labels exist in language, and language locks us into an identity that is not our truth.
And that's where I bring in the concept of play.
Right.
We can,
I love
you're playing, when you're a child, you can play dress up, you can play different roles, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, it was quite often cowboys and Indians, and I always wanted to be a Native American because I loved the way they lived close to nature. I loved the way they lived with animals, all of these things. So what do you want to be? What stance do you want to take? Where do you want to be experiencing life from? And you can play with it. You can be whatever you choose, and you can vary it and whatever. And so also I love to look at people I admire. Brene Brown being one, Marianne Williamson, you've just mentioned, being another, and think, well, what would my life be like in their shoes? How could I channel more Brene and be very, very aware of vulnerability, but not seeing it as a weakness, knowing that vulnerability is okay. I can be okay in my vulnerability, understanding shame in the way that she does, and not having that control me, but just be able to step back and look at it and explore it and understand it and dialogue with it and let
dance
it
with
teach me. Because exactly.
I can see you moving.
All of these things have their own wisdom to share. I've got a quote in the book that I got from Gabor Mate, but he's quoting A.H. Almaas, who says that our pain is our pain. It's there. It comes from the part of us that loves us most, that has no other way to share with us, to speak to us, to nudge us, than to be felt in that way. But what it's doing is going, here's a bit of wisdom for you. I've got something to share, and it's just for you, and it's to help you become you. So it's not something to fear. It's not something to shy away from. It's something to sit at the table with and just find how to converse, dialogue, share, open up to, explore, get curious, get compassionate, get that understanding.
Wow, I cannot think of anybody who wouldn't benefit from that exploration. Seriously. I think you should be so proud of this book